In this video, I'm revealing the design secrets that instantly make any space feel elevated, no matter your budget or your square footage. So no, don't go throwing out your furniture or tearing down walls. It has nothing to do with how much you spend and everything to do with how you see your space. These are principles I've learned studying architecture, researching interiors, and from over a decade designing homes. And let's be honest, spending way too many hours analyzing why some spaces feel just right and others don't. Now you might be wondering, does this really matter? And the answer is yes, because you clicked on this video, which probably means, like most of us, you want your home to look like those magazine spreads that you screenshot at 2 a.m. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Hi, I'm Dr. Olande, principal designer at Urbanist, and my channel is all about helping you create spaces that feel intentional, timeless, and well designed. So if you're ready to elevate your home the right way, let's dive in. When I walk into a space, the first thing I'm checking isn't the fancy finishes, it's the proportions. And this is the mistake I see everywhere. You know what I mean? Skinny porch columns on a massive roof, massive sectionals in a tiny room, ceiling heights that feel squashed. Here's what's really happening. Proportions aren't about what looks nice. Take columns, for example. Doric columns signal strength. Ionic columns signal elegance. Corinthian columns signal luxury. These aren't random choices. They're sophisticated proportions systems that have been refined for years and years. So when proportions are off, your eyes immediately pick up on them, even if you can't explain why something feels wrong. So in order to fix this, before you add any architecture element, ask yourself, does the visual weight match what it's supposed to be supporting? You know, if you have massive furniture, tiny window, or heavy light fixtures on a delicate ceiling, this is what's creating imbalance. Let's talk about material honesty, because this is where I see a lot of confusion. Materials communicate quality instantly. When I see natural stone, I see durability and craftsmanship. When I see steel and glass, I'm seeing precision and contemporary thinking. Here's what I see often happens. People try to stretch their budget and end up using materials that we make more expensive ones. Vinyl that looks like wood, laminate that looks like marble, plastic made to look like stone. The thing is, authentic materials, even simple ones, always feel more intentional than elaborate fake ones. A simple pine shell always feels more honest than glossy plastic pretending to be walnut. Here's the approach that works. You can use what you can afford, but use it authentically. That's what creates spaces that feel thoughtful and genuine. Here's something I notice all the time. People design rooms when they should be designing for movement. Architects think about spatial organization and like language. For example, Roma villas separated public spaces from private family spaces. Georgian townhouses create clear hierarchies, formal areas downstairs and more intimate spaces upstairs. But what I often see is choppy, disconnected spaces because people focus on decorating instead of how they actually live. Here's what I do with my clients. We start with your daily routine and then design around that. Where do you make your morning coffee? Where do you unwind after work? How do you move from public entertaining spaces in your home to private relaxation? Do you like dancing in your living room? Or maybe listening to music in your bedroom? Your space should support your lifestyle, not work against it. Here's what to try. Walk through your daily routine and notice when things feel awkward or inefficient. Those friction points tell you something about your space. Here's something that might surprise you. Sometimes the problem isn't what you have, it's how much you have. When a space feels chaotic, it's not usually because of bad furniture. It's because there's too much competing for attention. But don't be afraid. This is something designers are really good at. Editing. We know how to create breathing room for pieces that actually matter. I see this a lot. Beautiful rooms that feel overwhelming because every surface is styled. Every wall is filled. Every corner is decorated. Here's what I'll try. Remove half of what's on the surface. Choose your favorite wall art. Instead of filling every wall, pick fewer but better textiles. Give your space room to breathe. That's where elegance actually happens, when you let the good stuff shine. Lighting is definitely the most underrated and the most transformative element in any room. And this is where I see the biggest missed opportunities. Here's what usually happens. People rely on one overhead fixture and wonder why their space feels flat. Professionals think in layers. Ambient light to soften the space, task light for function, and accent light for mood, and atmosphere. Think about it. Restaurants invest heavily in lighting because they know how it controls how you feel. Your home deserves the same attention. Here's what can make a difference. Add dimmers wherever you can. Use warm bulbs instead of cool ones. Don't be afraid of table lamps, floor lamps, or scones. Lighting isn't just about seeing. It's about creating atmosphere. And that's what transforms a room from being functional to beautiful. This isn't just theory. Timeless architecture proves these exact principles. Take Rome's Pantheon as an example. Those proportions are mathematically perfect. The dome's diameter equals the building height and creates this harmony that you can actually feel. Westminster Abbey, the pointed arches aren't just pretty, they're engineering innovations. The materials are authentic, the craftsmanship is evident in every detail. These spaces have endured for centuries because they follow the same principles I've just gone through with you. Honest proportions, authentic materials, intentional spatial flow, thoughtful editing, and masterful use of light. Your home should work the same way. Walk through these systematically and you'll be amazed at the difference. Understanding these principles don't just make your home look better, it saves you serious money. You avoid renovation mistakes by choosing upgrades that work with your space instead of against it. You recognize quality when you're house hunting. You make choices that last instead of following trends that look dated after 5 years. Good design isn't about spending more, it's about understanding what you're doing. Once you learn to see design this way, you can't unsee it. You walk into every space immediately knowing why it works or why it doesn't. Let me know in the comments, which of these mistakes are you fixing first? Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this. Your home should support the life you want to live, not fight it. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked this, share with someone, and please always join us in the comment section. It's always fun on that.